Hey guys, we've got a 2,000 point battle report for you today in Dice Head Games campaign. We're going to be doing Imperial Guard versus Tyranids, with the Imperial Guard defending the objective. And this is the same one we played last time, where it was Space Marines versus Tyranids. So there'll be one objective in the Imperial Guard deployment zone, and that's the whole purpose of the mission. So we'll walk down the armies first. The Imperial Guard, we have a company command squad with Creed, a regimental standard, and a medic. And they are in a Chimera with camo netting and carapace armor on the command squad. Then we've got a priest, we've got a level 2 Primaris Psyker, and then we have a commissar. We have a 10-man veteran squad with 3 plasma guns and a las cannon. We have a wyvern, 2 hydras, the second wyvern subbing in as the second hydra, a manticore. Then we have a tank commander in a Punisher with heavy bolters, and he has an Eradicator riding along with him with heavy bolters. We have an Aegis line with a quad gun. We have a junior command squad with grenade launchers. They're in a Chimera that also has camo netting. We have a 30-man conscript group. Then we have 35, so 35 guys there. And then we've got 3 infantry squads with flamers, right? Flamethrowers and autocannons. And that's the Imperial Guard side of things. Over here we'll go over the Tyranids. We have Swarm Lord with 2 Hive Guard, or 2 Tyrant Guard. We have Death Leaper, and we have the Winged Tyrant with Devourers and Wings. Troops, we have 1 group of 18 Hormagaunts, and then 1, 2, 3 groups of 19 Hormagaunts. We have 3 Biovores. We have 1, 2 Molochs. We have a pair of Hive Crones, and then we have a Tyrannifex with an acid spray. That's armies. We'll run you down the table here, and we haven't rolled for any of the pregame stuff yet, so we'll be back after deployment with all of that. All right, we got set up finished. The Tyranids are deployed over here. We got all the winged stuff and the Biovores here in the building. We have 3 of the squads of Hormagaunts spaced out good, so the artillery will be somewhat mitigated. And then Swarm Lord, who has completely disappeared into this black table, is defending the center building, and the Tyrannifex is marching alongside him. In reserve, we've got both of the Molochs deep striking and Death Leaper deep striking. We also have 1 squad of Hormagaunts in reserve. Now, Death Leaper rolled his It's After Me ability against the Primaris Psyker and got a 3, so the Primaris Psyker will be leadership 6 for this game. Well, until Death Leaper dies anyways. We've got the artillery and Creed tucked back here. Veteran squad in the building, looking out at the wave of Tyranids approaching. And they have the Primaris with them. Then we have the platoon here, the tank commander and his buddy here, and then the conscripts and the priest across the front. We have the junior command on the flank, Hydras, and the wyvern tucked back in the corner behind the building. So that is set up, and you don't have any scouts, do you? Yes. We have, so we've got set up, no scouts for either side. We're going to see if the Tyranids can seize the initiative. No, so the guard will be going first, and we'll be back after the top of turn 1. Okay guys, bottom of turn 1 is about to start. You'll notice a big hole here. The guard artillery and a lot of their shooting just blew them all to pieces. These crazy conscripts decided they're not close enough. They need to get closer to the Tyranids. So they moved up here, fired on Swarm Lord to no effect. This guy took 2 wounds. He got off lucky because that group fired at him, missed with all 6 autocannon shots, 2 of the 4 twin-linked quad gun shots, and rolled 2 1s on the quad gun shots. So to wound me. So he got off very lucky there. Manticore missed. I lost 1 Biovore to the veteran's las cannon. And the other 2, they were the target of the Manticore, which was twin-linked from the Psyker, and still did nothing. So that's where we're at after 1. We're about to start Tyranid turn 1, and we'll be back after that. Alright guys, turn 1 is just finished. The Tyranids have advanced here. Swarm Lord cast Paroxysm on the conscripts. Their weapon skill 0, ballistic skill 0. So the conscripts are not shooting this turn. The winged models moved up here. Hormagaunts all ran up the field. Between the 2 crones, they both fired their flamers into here, and the Primaris Psyker is now standing by himself. The veteran squad's been incinerated by their fire. And then he picked off 4 or 5 conscripts. The flamer here killed 7, I think, and then I got 3 from the stinger salvo. So they're whittling down, but they're conscripts. There's still a lot of them, and that's what they're here to do. So I'm going to weather another guard shooting phase and then see what reserves we get. We'll be back at the top, and when the top of turn 2 is finished. Okay, the Imperial Guard just finished up their second turn. We got some Gaunts rushing up the middle still here. They didn't take any damage. Swarmlord had a terrible battle rolling. He took about 6 wounds, and all the wounds on his Hive Guard fell off, so they all died. He got locked up by all of these guys. They couldn't hit because their all weapons killed 0, so Swarmlord killed 4, Chain Effects killed 3, but the Priest is keeping them fearless. Tyrant took 2 wounds. This crone is dead, so I mean he had a pretty effective shooting phase. Manticore knocked out 3 or 4 Gaunts here. So he had a pretty effective shooting phase. We'll see how the Tyranids can respond in the bottom of 2. Be back after that. Just finished up turn 2. Big combat here. All the Hormagaunts came in with preferred enemy through Swarmlord and cut up the conscripts and the priests. So that part's over. This platoon took a ton of casualties. The crone pulled up, fired, killed 3 or 4. The Biovores were the big one though. They scored a hit on this big group that's missing now. And they scored 20 hits and killed like 12 or 13 of them. Then the Tyrant went, and he killed the Primary Psyker, 2 of the heavy weapon teams, or no, just 1. The Biovores got the other. And then the Commissar stroked his. He made a bunch of armor saves there and mitigated casualties from the Tyrant. Death Leaper came in down here and hit the Manticore, caused 1 penetrating hit, and shook it out. So it will not be firing a Storm Eagle rocket this turn. Got 1 of my 2 Molochs, but it scattered 12 inches off target from up there. So it's back here waiting to try to charge up and get in some combat. So that's where we're standing right now. Still got 1 Moloch in reserve. Also, these Hormagaunts came on and ran on. So we got 1 Moloch in reserve, and the Tyranids are pushing the line, but the Guardsmen are trying their best to hold it. So we'll be back at the end of the top of turn 3. All right, guys, just finished up the top of turn 3. Guard had a stellar shooting phase. They killed the second crone. They killed Swarmlord, the Winged Tyrant. They also hit him like 6 times despite his snapshots only, but his cover save kept him up. So took some significant damage, lost some of the frontline elements, still got a Moloch to come in, and these Guardsmen moved over to make a last stand on the objective. So we're back at the end of turn 3 and see how the Tyranids do. All right, Tyranid turn 3. Right, Tyranid turn 3 just ended. Swarmlord and the Hormagaunts are continuing the march through the artillery fire. Biovores broke cover and started up so they could get some synapse range. Hormagaunts here ran up, and the Guardsmen are gone. They have a Commissar left. He's bravely holding the line against a Moloch and about 15 Hormagaunts. Death Leaper got the Manticore, and we immobilized this Chimera with the Tyranifex's Stinger Salvo. So that's where we're standing after 3. Objective is still contested, and we will see you after the top of 4. All right, just finished Imperial Guard turn 4. Not a lot happened this turn. Swarmlord took a couple more wounds. Paroxysm saved him a bunch of hits from these guys. He took 2 more wounds, down to 2. Lost a couple of Gaunts to the Wyvern, and we finished this combat up. The Gaunts cut the Commissar down. So we'll be back at the end of 4 with what the Tyranids have done in return. Just finished the bottom of Tyranid turn 4. The Tyranids continue their press up here to the objective. Surrounded this Chimera with Creed in it. Death Leaper caused 2 damage points, so it is still alive. We swamped this thing with Gaunts, gave them Furious Charge with Swarmlord, blocked it off with him. The Gaunts, he did not smash, trying to keep from blowing it up. He dealt it 1 of its 2 remaining hull points, and they destroyed it with the stripped last point. 1 guy was able to jump out here through emergency disembarkation, but then Swarmlord climbed in and blew up both of the Russes, and the explosion cut this guy down in the shrapnel. So that's where we're standing right now. Oh, also, the second Moloch finally came up, scattered onto this Wyvern, knocked 2 hull points out of it, and stunned it, and then went back into reserve. So he's a shy guy, but maybe he'll be here eventually. So that's the bottom of 4. 1 more turn. We'll be back at the end of the Guard turn 5. All right, Guard turn 5. The Guard are trying their best to make a fight out of this. They have disembarked their infantry here. Creed and his guys had a spectacular shooting phase, killed 9 Hormagaunts. So they're contesting the objective. So the game is a tie unless the Tyranids can do something about it in the bottom of 5. That's all that happened. So we'll be back after the Tyranids make their final actions. Into turn 5, the Tyranids have pulled it out. The Imperial Command Squad jumped out here. The second Moloch that had gone into reserve came up directly beneath them, wrecked their Chimera, and slaughtered everybody but Creed. Creed did take a wound, but he made his refractor field save. After that, Death Leaper fired trying to insta-jib him, missed with both shots. Then we manned the quad gun, and his own quad gun blew him to pieces. So game ends there with a Tyranid victory. Thanks for watching, guys, as always, and keep an eye on the blog. We'll have a link in the description below that gives army lists, post-game thoughts, and where we're going from here. So thanks for watching, and as always, stay tuned.